President Trump's top White House general tonight providing political cover. John Kelly in deeply personal terms defending the president's call this week to Sergeant LaDavid Johnson's widow.
If you elect to call a family like this, it is about the most difficult thing you could imagine. There's no perfect way to make that phone call.
Kelly, whose son Robert was killed in Afghanistan in 2010, saying he'd advised the president against making condolence calls.
It's not the phone call that parents, family members are looking forward to.
While fiercely denouncing criticism by Democratic Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, who accused President Trump of disrespecting Johnson.
I was stunned when I came to work yesterday morning and brokenhearted. It stuns me that a member of Congress would have listened in on that conversation. Absolutely stuns me.
Kelly so distraught Wednesday, he says he left the White House for Arlington National Cemetery.
The only thing I could do to collect my thoughts was to go and walk among the finest men and women on this earth. Went over there for an hour and a half, walked among the stones, some of whom I put there because they were doing what I told them to do when they were killed.
The retired four-star Marine general opening his remarks with a stirring account of the process that occurs when a service member dies.
Their buddies wrap them up in whatever passes as a shroud, puts them on a helicopter as a routine, and sends them home.
It's a controversy President Trump started Monday.
If you look at President Obama and other presidents, most of them didn't make calls.
Kelly tonight saying his family did not receive a call from President Obama.
That was not a criticism. That was just to simply say, I don't believe President Obama called.
Who reached out to Kelly? His best friend, Joint Chiefs Chairman Joseph Dunford.
He said, Kel, he was doing exactly what he wanted to do when he was killed. He knew what he was getting into by joining that 1%. He knew what the possibilities were because we're at war.
Those words echoed by Mr. Trump this week to Johnson's widow.
He said, well, I guess you knew something to the fact that he knew what he was getting into when he signed up.
Words the president had said were fabricated. Kelly punctuating his remarks with a poignant appeal.
Let's not let this maybe last thing that's held sacred in our society. A young man, young woman going out and giving his or her life for our country. Let's try to somehow keep that sacred.
It was a rare and emotional moment in the briefing room here today. John Kelly, who's typically very private, now for the second time in 2 weeks, speaking publicly on behalf of his boss after a controversial debate sparked by the president's own words. Lester?
All right, Peter Alexander with an emotional scene inside the White House briefing room today. Peter, thank you. Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.